Welcome to Crime Time Cases, where we uncover the truth behind some of today's most chilling and perplexing crimes. Today, we are exploring a story that has left an entire community reeling in disbelief. On September 19, 2024, in the heart of Letcher County, Kentucky, a place of justice became the site of a horrifying crime. Sheriff Sean "Mickey" Steins stood in the courthouse, armed, facing District Judge Kevin Mullins. Moments later, the judge lay dead, leaving behind a community searching for answers. Courtrooms are meant to be symbols of fairness and resolution. They're places where disputes are settled, and the rule of law prevails. Yet, on that fateful day, the Letcher County Courthouse witnessed an act of violence that betrayed its purpose. The question remains, how did two figures of authority, bound by their duty to uphold the law, find themselves in such a deadly confrontation? A chilling scene, captured on video. Freshly released video evidence offers a haunting glimpse into the events that unfolded inside the courtroom. The footage shows Steins raising his firearm, pointing it directly at Judge Mullins. The judge, visibly shocked and unarmed, drops to the ground. His hands are raised in surrender, his body turned slightly away from the gun, a silent plea for mercy. Then, the unimaginable happens. Shots ring out, and Judge Mullins collapses. The scene is one of chaos and disbelief. This wasn't a random act of violence on the street. It was an execution in a place meant to deliver justice. As the courthouse emptied in panic, several questions echoed in everyone's minds, mainly, why? The lives behind the titles. To understand this tragedy, we need to examine the lives of the two men at its center. Sheriff Sean "Mickey" Steins was, by many accounts, a respected sheriff. Known for his dedication to the community and his tough-on-crime stance, Steins was a figure of authority and trust. But recent revelations paint a different picture, one of a man possibly struggling with personal anxiety and professional pressures. Judge Kevin Mullins, on the other hand, was seen as a fair and compassionate figure in Letcher County. His rulings were guided by a commitment to justice, and he was admired for his empathy toward those who came before him in court. Beyond his role as a judge, Mullins was a husband, father, and beloved member of the community. His horrific murder has left a void that will not be easily filled. A community in shock, disbelief. The people of Letcher County are grappling with a profound sense of betrayal. Why would someone they trusted to protect them commit such a heinous act? One resident shared, "It just doesn't make sense. We always thought of him as one of the good guys." Another resident added, "Judge Mullins wasn't just a judge. He was a friend to so many in this town. This loss is unbearable." In small towns like Letcher County, trust runs deep. The bonds between people are strong, and those who serve in positions of authority are often seen as extensions of the community. This tragedy has shattered that trust, leaving many to question not only the actions of Steins, but also the systems that allowed such a conflict to escalate. The legal battle ahead for former Sheriff Sean "Mickey" Steins, now facing a charge of murder, in which he plead not guilty. The next step in the process is for a grand jury to determine whether there is enough evidence to indict him. If an indictment is handed down, it will lead to a trial that promises to reveal more about the events leading up to this tragedy, and perhaps the motivations behind it. As the legal process unfolds, the case is likely to become a lightning rod for public opinion. Was this a moment of uncontrollable rage, crime of passion, or was it the result of deep animosity between sheriff and judge? How could it have been prevented? What additional evidence is there to bring forward? These are the questions the court and the community will seek to answer. The lasting impact on Letcher County. The tragedy has left a lasting impact on Letcher County. Outside the courthouse, flowers and candles were placed in memory of Judge Mullins. For his family, the pain is unimaginable. Is murder the answer? A husband and father is gone, leaving behind loved ones who must now navigate future life without him. For the community, the courthouse itself has become a symbol of grief. What was once a place of order and justice now stands as a reminder of a senseless act of violence. Healing will take some time, but for many, the question of how and why such a tragedy could happen in their town will linger for years to come. The unfolding mystery. This story is far from over. The legal proceedings will likely uncover new details, shedding light on the relationship between former Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins, and the events that led to this tragic moment. But even as the trial approaches, some questions may never have clear answers. This case leaves us with more questions than answers. Speculation about the tragic loss of a respected judge or the shocking betrayal of trust by a sheriff. It's about a community struggling to come to terms with a tragedy that defies understanding. How does a town heal when the very institutions meant to protect and serve it are the source of its greatest pain? The story of why the sheriff shot the judge is one that will go beyond headlines. It's a reflection of the fragile nature of trust and the devastating consequences when that trust is broken. Judge Kevin Mullins wasn't just a man in a robe. He was a father, a husband, and a dedicated public servant who worked tirelessly to bring justice to his community. For whatever reason, even the judge should be given the same fair justice that the law demands. His loss is not just a legal tragedy. It's a personal one for everyone who knew him and respected his work. As for former Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins, his actions will be scrutinized in courtrooms, newspapers, and homes across the nation. What led him to such a breaking point? Was this an act of premeditated violence or the result of overwhelming pressures? And what, if anything, could have been done to prevent this horrific outcome? We'll be watching closely as the case unfolds. The grand jury decision, the potential trial, and the revelations that may come out in court will shed more light on this chilling mystery. But for now, we're left with the haunting image of a courthouse turned into a crime scene, a place where justice was silenced by violence. Thank you for watching Crime Time Cases. We're committed to bringing you the stories that matter, the mysteries that grip us, and the moments that demand our attention. If you want to stay updated on this case and others like it, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'll continue to follow this case, uncover the details, and honor the memory of those lost along the way. To Judge Kevin Mullins's family, we extend our deepest sympathies. And to anyone else, let this story remind us of the fragility of justice and the responsibility we all share in upholding it. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and remember, justice is not just a system, it's a value we must protect every day. Thank you. Until next video, this is Crime Time Cases.